Hi, Miss Quinn. Now, this I just want to share something with you. Um, now this is something I remembered, but it's not something that actually made me depressed. This is something I want to get out there. Okay, it took me. Now this really made my dad mad. That Lighthouse School didn't tell him this. In fact, it was one of the things the Lighthouse School that pretty much everything I talked about that they didn't tell Dad. That I talked about on the internet, YouTube. Everything I talked about on YouTube that involves Lighthouse School didn't told Dad any of that stuff. I didn't know that. And
Okay, I'm gonna be getting dressed, so don't come in there for a while. Give me about a half hour to get dressed.
okay,
Okay? Just wanted
okay.
you to know.
And so, um, yeah, I didn't know that. So, anyway, what I wanted to share was that I remembered it took me a year to a school year and a half to remember Miss Caronito's name correctly.
Alex moves the ship to a dead stop, so the bark moves like an iceberg on our ship's radar. The campaign nearing an end. Sea Shepherds can't risk picking up another tail. If Alex is right, and he can keep the Barker undetected, our purpose is either directly into the mothership.
And I'm watching some sort of show. They're talking really intense. I got my nail clippers, or toenail clippers, or nail clippers. So, what I plan on doing is in the video reviewing Spider-Man Far From Home. So the movie's about Spider-Man and Spider-Man and Peter Parker. This takes place the events after Endgame, right after Endgame, and everyone's dealing with the loss of the Avengers, the heroes that have died, and Spider-Man's dealing with the hardest, and the one the death has affected him the most is Tony Stark. And the movie makes it clear that he's seriously grieving over the loss of Tony, who was like a Uncle Ben figure to him. Uncle Ben hasn't really been that named that much in the MCU. In fact, I don't remember him being named at all. But so he goes to some place where he falls in love with this girl called MJ, stands for Mary Jane. He doesn't tell you that. Don't know why actually. And Nick Fury has been trying to get in contact with Peter but Peter's been blowing him off because he just wants to get MJ to fall in love with him. He comes with this insane plan, and but he ends up helping Nick Fury out anyway because these elementals are supposedly would destroy the world, and this guy called Quentin Beck, world knows him as Mysterio, Nick Fury knows this because Quentin Beck told Nick Fury, and that he killed his family. He becomes friends with Peter.
Very hard ball, son. Don't have to. Cargo's rates every car from great deal low price and certain distance first.
And
Five-star neighbor rating. Make sure it has chocolate box.
Careful. Go to Cargo's today to find great deals from top-rated dealers near you.
So Peter teams up with Mysterio, and Kick-Ass destroyed one of the elementals. Mysterio supposedly dies, but really, somehow he survives. You find out that the entire plot of the film has been a trick by Mysterio, illusion by Mysterio. So basically, literally an illusion. The whole Mysterio turns out was all the time evil, total bad guy, and he reveals that he's evil to the audience when after Peter gives him these glasses that Tony Stark wanted him to have, and allows him to have access to Stark Tech and Tony's AI, or one of his AIs. So yeah, Mysterio not bad guy, and Peter's freaking out and reveals after MJ found out, but she was only like 50% sure that he was Spider-Man. And Peter just comes clean and explains the whole thing to MJ off screen, and he explains that he almost accidentally killed a friend of MJ's on the bus, almost said a mischief to him, but Peter took care of that, yeah. Peter has to step up and takes a step closer and becoming the hero he's destined to be, the legend that he becomes, that he's stepping forward and becoming a bigger hero. Like a really professional hero. He's stepping forward, but baby steps. And he's 16 in this. And last one he was 15. So, and so not enough time for him to grow, I guess. And it does show he's grown, but he thinks because he only got snapped. Well, the public's referring to as the blip. he didn't really got enough time to grow as a hero, so yeah. Sorry, there's things that happen outside. Hope you don't mind, I'll just speak up. So yeah. And he tells Fury what has happened, and explains the whole thing to Fury and his right hand. And turns out all of this was, and after getting and then Mysterio supposedly kills Nick Fury, but then Nick Fury shots him after Spider-Man getting his ass handed to him in a sort of nightmare scene, where we see this cameo of Zombie Iron Man from Marvel Comics. It's a pretty cool design. It doesn't look silly. It looks very nice, but not enough as, it's not as silly as you would think, but it's not as scary if you would imagine for live action Tony Stark zombie. So anyway, after that, we find after that Nick Fury shoots Quinn in bed, and he asks Peter who else he told, and Peter tells him, and turns out it was a trick by Mysterio. So he's going to kill all of his friends, and he ends up in prison after getting hit by a train. And so he breaks out of prison very easy. He just breaks the lock and calls Happy, who is sort of dating his Aunt May. And so Happy helps Peter after Peter finds out that it's really Happy, and Peter built a new suit with Stark Tech. He designed it himself. It's actually pretty nice. He goes to save his friend and defeat Mysterio. Nick Fury finds out Mysterio is full of shit this entire time, and somehow figure out that Mysterio was going to plan on killing him. So his right hand gets his back, and Peter takes down Mysterio and his drones, and because he decides to finally believe in his spider sense and listen to it. But he calls in, but it hasn't gotten the name yet. It's called right now his Peter Tingle, because given by his Aunt May. So anyway, so he says, "Come on, Peter Tingle," and he dodges all of them and takes down, and senses that Mysterio had another illusion up his sleeve, but he grabs the gun and Mysterio fires out of the scene. Mysterio died by getting shot by one of his drones, and so Peter actually puts on the stock glasses that he gave to Mysterio, and he says, like, destroy all the drones now. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sure. I don't. Destroy all the drones. I don't care. Just do it. So he saves his friends, and Peter saves the day, saves the world, and there are two end credits to this, so I don't know why it couldn't be just one or not better, not any. But anyway, they tell a little of the story. Nick Fury was really a Skrull, and also his right hand was also a Skrull, working for Nick Fury, and he told them everything that they needed to do with this entire time. And Peter is now pinned as taking the blame from the drone attack because Mysterio made a video before his made a video before his death, and made a video, and he got one of his guys, his minions, to make a video before he dies for him, and that makes it look like Spider-Man killed Mysterio, and it's the reason for the attack that the Mysterio was responsible for. So now, not only that, but Peter is now, his secret's out that he is Peter Parker. Spider-Man and Peter Parker are the same thing. And this is all, and James Jonah Jameson told everyone this on the news, and Peter is like, knows that he's in deep trouble, and that is Far From Home. I really love this movie, so this gets a thumbs up. Now, I want to tell you another problem I have with this movie. Peter jokes less in this than he did in Homecoming, and I was kind of hoping that he would make that bigger part of Peter Parker's character, like the did with the Spider-Sense and the Apocalypse, where everything that Peter tries to do to benefit him, make him to do something selfish to benefit himself, it ends up backfiring, so in bad luck. But other than that, I really love the movie a lot, and I definitely would see it again. So that's my review on Spider-Man Homecoming. I mean Spider-Man Far From Home. I definitely think it's as worthy sequel. Well, it's not as heartwarming to me, and when the story is not as good as Homecoming was. It has better action because they don't really cut away from the action as much. So the action has more of a story to it, and is more of a character itself in this movie. But it's just not as good as I would want it to be. I mean, he does, not that he doesn't joke in this. Not that he doesn't say anything funny. I like the line when he says to Mysterio, "Sir, can I help you? I'm very strong and sticky." And he says like stuff like that every now and then, but it's lot less consistent than it was in the last one. And I think that's what bothers me. It's a lot less consistent. So yeah, that's what bothers me. And let myself catch my breath. Interesting.